Do you know, I cannot believe the fantasy now of people that were talked about getting back control. Who has control of our industry? EDF, Électricité de France. Who owns much of the water industry? Who owns much of our car industry? Who owns much of the things that we produce? Who owns Cadbury's now? No, it's not in Britain it's owned. What we need is to collectively have a view as to how we stop international capitalism telling us what to do. And we formed the European Union with that very thing in mind. And where did the European Union come from? Way back in the 40s and 50s, it was good people in Germany who weren't fascists, people in France who suffered dreadfully, people in Italy who joined together as a common market because they saw joining together in trade as a way that you could avoid further war. As a boy, as some of you in this audience tonight will remember, the bomb sites around Birmingham, the rationing that we had in the early 50s, all this was to do with war and conflict that went back over 100 years. My father, when I got to about the age of 9, they stopped conscription. So boys at the age of 15, 16 were conscripted into the armed services. And it was ended when I was about 9. And my father said to me, do you know, he said, you are the first in our family's generation that we can ever remember whose first journey into mainland Europe wasn't with a rifle over your shoulder. And you know, we've forgotten this. The collective memory now somehow of the Rees-Moggs and the Johnsons have forgotten why we formed together. We formed together to bring peace in Europe. And whatever else has failed, we have now got peace in Europe. The idea that there could be war in Europe now is just inconceivable. Whereas if we hadn't joined together, that is precisely where we'd have probably been twice more in the last 100 years.